Okay, let's get into the questions. First one is, do you have any hidden talents? Okay, so for one of our music videos, I had to learn how to drive stick shift for it, and that was so much fun. It was kind of hard and I stalled a lot, but I would say that's my new hidden talent, is that I could drive stick. All right, question number 2. What are your favorite movies of all time? Ooh, this is a good one. There's so many, but I'll stick to 3. Okay, my top childhood favorite, all-time, best movie ever, I watched this like probably a million times growing up, is Matilda. So that one's definitely up there. I'm also obsessed with La La Land. Oh, that was so good. And 10 Things I Hate About You. Those are my top 3. When did you first go viral? This is a good question. So I have a group account with my sisters, Triple Charm, but we each started individual YouTube channels in the beginning of this year, and my first short that I ever posted got 220 million views. And in the first week, I gained like 4 million subscribers. So that was pretty insane, and I would definitely qualify that as a viral video for sure. What's your favorite holiday? Ooh, this is a hard one, but I would say probably Christmas, because I just love the winter and the whole season around Christmas time. The energy is just perfect. Okay, who are your role models? Ooh, that's a good one. I think there's so many people that I look up to, but my number one is definitely my mom. She inspires me every day. So yeah, my biggest role model is my mom for sure. If you could travel anywhere, where would you choose? Oh, this is a hard one. Recently, I kind of want to go to Austria or Switzerland, like in the tiny little villages in the mountains. Oh, it's so pretty. So, okay, I'm gonna stick with that answer. Yeah, Austria or Switzerland. Okay, the next one is, what advice would you give to your past self? I would say the main piece of advice I would give to my past self is to just remember that everything happens for a reason, and to just take it day by day and like stay in the present. Don't focus so much on the future, and just like live in the moment. Ooh, this is a good one. Okay, which people or accounts are your favorite to follow on social media? I don't know if there's specific people, but when I'm scrolling, my favorite videos are like podcast clips. Oh my gosh, I get so many of those on my reels. Another type of video, this is like, I feel like this is pretty niche, but it's like West Coast dancing. It's like swing, it's couples improv, and they have like conventions or like competitions. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but they're so satisfying to watch. So yeah, that's kind of niche, but I guess like swing, improv, couples dancing. Which one of your accomplishments are you most proud of? We just had our first ever live show. As I'm filming this, it was only about 3 days ago. So that's definitely something that I will never forget. We sold out our very first show, and we got to meet people they flew in from a bunch of different states. So it was so exciting to meet everybody and perform. So yeah, I would definitely say our first live show is a very proud moment for me. If you had to eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would you choose? Ooh, this is hard, but I think something that I eat most often is probably Chick-fil-A. So I would go for the 8-count chicken nugget meal with a medium fry. And then I'd like to get a large water, because I only really drink water, but their ice is so good. I love to just eat their ice after. So yeah, Chick-fil-A, 8-count meal with a large water. Oh, okay, if you had to describe yourself in 4 words, what would they be? I think I would describe myself as silly, probably. I like to laugh a lot. Definitely extroverted, easygoing. Definitely, I'm pretty chill. And then I would just say I'm like, in general, a very happy person. So I would describe myself as happy. What is my favorite birthday memory? So actually growing up, my birthday would always fall during the week of recital, which we grew up doing competitive dance. So recital is basically where you like showcase your dances to all your family. And every year my birthday would fall on the week of recital. So I'd either be dancing or like in rehearsals. So I think those are just my favorite memories because I got to do what I love and be with all my friends from dance. So definitely every year at recital. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed getting to learn a little bit more about me. You can follow me on Instagram and YouTube at Amalia Triple Charm. Thanks for watching. Bye.
If you had to eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would you choose? Maybe a Chipotle burrito bowl, because I feel like I could shockingly eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and be satisfied. What advice would you give to your past self? I would tell my past self just to enjoy the moment, because everything comes and goes and all you really have is now. So enjoy where you're at. If you could have your dream vacation, where would you go and what would you do? Ooh, right now I really want to go to Italy and make pasta. What are your favorite movies of all time? Ooh, definitely love Matilda. I think that's a favorite between me and my sisters. I also really like The Lorax. That movie makes me emotional for some reason. Yeah. And then also Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen biopic, is a good one. What is your biggest pet peeve? Ooh, this is a little niche, and it might not even be my biggest one, but it's definitely one, is like when somebody steps on the back of your heel when you're walking and then they kind of like pull off your shoe and that would just annoy me. What would be the one superpower you would choose to have? Ooh, super speed. Be able to run really fast, and then maybe you can like run back in time or forward in time. If you've ever seen The Flash, you would know the perks. Which one of your accomplishments are you proudest of? I would say recently, actually, me and my sisters performed our first live show doing our original music, and it was sold out actually. So that's a big accomplishment and definitely proud of that. We had a great time. The crowd had a great time. We got to meet a lot of you guys and a lot of our fans that have been following us and listening to our music, so it was super cool. What's your goal for where you'll be in 3 years from today? Ooh, definitely want to be happy and hopefully having lots of adventures and travel. Me and my sisters want to go on a world tour one day performing our original music. So doing that, maybe we'll have won a Grammy by then, who knows? And then also eventually want to get into acting. What is your favorite holiday? My favorite holiday has to be Christmas. There's literally, I swear, something is in the air when it gets to that time of year. It's so magical and just makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside. Which people or accounts are your favorite to follow on social media? I like watching like satisfying cooking videos, so like any of those ASMR food videos are really satisfying. So maybe those. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know. And if you don't, do you see social media as your long-term career path? If not, what could you see yourself doing? I definitely see social media as something that will always be a part of my career path because it's so relevant and it's what's gotten me where I am today. But I also, expanding on that, really want to dive into music and doing that with my sisters, maybe performing, touring, also TV, like television and film, I would love to get into eventually. So social media is definitely a part of it, but not the whole picture. If you could take control of anyone's Instagram account for the day, whose would it be and why? Who's the most followed person on Instagram? I don't know who it is. Maybe Selena Gomez, because I really like her, but also I need to plug myself, you know? I'll give myself a shout out to their 350 million followers, and that's my reasoning. Thanks so much for watching, and thank you Famous Birthdays for having me. You can follow me on Instagram and YouTube at Raena Triple Charm, and then you can follow me and my sister's group at It's Triple Charm or Triple Charm on YouTube. Bye!
Question number 1. If you could meet any 3 people, dead or alive, who would you want to meet? Okay, that's a hard question. I would probably want to meet one of the legends, like Michael Jackson. That would be so cool, like to get the full story and talk to him one-on-one. And then probably like Taylor Swift, because she's poppin'. And maybe like Lizzo. Those 3. Michael Jackson, Taylor Swift, and Lizzo. Okay, question number 2 is if you were stranded on an island and could only take 3 things, what would they be? Okay, I'm gonna try and think smarter, not harder here. So a plane and a pilot to take me back home, and some potato chips, because potato chips are the bomb. Question number 3 is, what are your favorite movies of all time? I can't pick. Like, I am so indecisive, but some of my favorites are the Rush Hour movies, Matilda, Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure is a classic, and then the Barbie movies, I mean, come on. And then the Queen biopic and the Elvis biopic. Question number 4 is, what is one of your most embarrassing moments? All right. I don't even know how to explain this one because it was like bizarre. I don't even know how it happened, but I accidentally like somehow DM'd all of our fans my personal Bitmoji. So it was like a Bitmoji of me going like, or something. I don't even know what the Bitmoji was, but it was either an embarrassing Bitmoji or I was just embarrassed by the whole situation. And so yeah, I DM'd all of our followers a Bitmoji. So we had to go in and delete each Bitmoji one by one. And that took like 2 hours. So I'm sorry to my sisters who ended up actually deleting them for me because no one trusted me with the app again. Just kidding. No, they trust me now. It's been like 2 years since, but I don't know if I trust myself at this point. Question number 5 is, what is your biggest pet peeve? All right, where do I begin? I'm just kidding. No, recently it's been when people chew with their mouth open or chew loudly. That just rubs me the wrong way. Question number 6, I think, is what is your favorite birthday memory? And that would have to be when I went to Discovery Cove and kissed a dolphin, rode on it. I was like a dolphin whisperer. Me and the dolphin were tight. And, oh my gosh, I just remembered this. Me and the dolphin had the same birthday. And so I was like in shock. I was like, we're twins. So, what was the question? Question 7 is, if you had one superpower, what would you choose to have? Maybe like flying? That would be cool, right? So flying. Question 8, what is your favorite video that you've ever posted? I would say it's more of a recent one because it just happened, but we just performed live for the first time ever. Crazy to even say that. Where we got to meet so many fans and supporters, and it was just so much fun, and we had to capture the moment with a little video. So we were basically like, hey, it's just a regular Saturday night, hang with some friends, do you guys want to say hi? And then we turned around and then the crowd screamed. And so it was so cool to like have a little memory of that show and be able to share that with everyone that wasn't able to go. So I would say that's my favorite video. Next question. If you had to describe yourself in 4 words, what would they be? I would say fun. I like to think that I'm fun to be around and to hang out with. So fun. And maybe calm. I feel like I'm pretty maybe centered or like grounded or mature. One of those words because I am pretty aligned spiritually. Caring? Maybe? Just kidding. I would say I'm pretty caring, and then funny. I like to think that I'm funny. I laugh at myself, so to me, I'm funny. So that's how I would describe myself, is funny. So hopefully other people think I'm funny. Hopefully people aren't laughing at me, but with me, but I like to think I'm funny, so funny. Next question. Which one of your accomplishments are you most proud of? I would say I'm most proud of, it's not an accomplishment like one specific one, but rather a general accomplishment that I've achieved, which is going after my dreams and being able to and doing what I love, because that is really what we're here to do, is just thrive and have fun. What is something most people who follow you don't know about you? Right. No one really knows this about me, but I was Petite Miss Dance of Florida. I was like 6'7", so there you go, fun fact. What advice would you have for someone who wants to be a social media creator? I would say have fun, be you, because people love authenticity and getting to know you as a person and your personality, so be you. Very generic, but very powerful. Be you. And that's all the questions. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me at Gabriella Triple Charm on any and all platforms. Bye!